I'm not sure exactly where that cut off, but apparently I've been playing for over an hour without quitting, so I can only record for an hour at a time, so yes. Stories themselves, loosely based on what I hear and see here, I find that interesting because as a writer, I don't draw inspiration from people who I know or just see around me, but I find it really fascinating that a lot of writers do, and that my brain just doesn't seem to work in that direction. And I think that's what I was saying when it wasn't actually a recording. Let us go. How loosely based, I asked. Freya's like, Knife Walker novel versus movie level, loosely based. I wonder what that means. I'm like, the old one? She's like, of course I'm talking about the old one. That's already very different, you know. You can't get more different than that. I'm still like, ... I mean, it's not like I can tell you not to write about a coffee shop, right? No, I can't. No, you can't, says Freya. Although you can just ban me from coming. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you're banned. No, Freya's like, ... What? Just kidding. I wouldn't do that to my loyal customer. Are we friends? I've never called her a friend yet, just a customer. Maybe we just have a really casual relationship. Freya's like, very funny. Thanks for not banning me, though. Anyway, I'm really excited to see who's going to come in tonight. You and me both. Wonder what kind of stories he'll have. So do I, because this is a game that I'm playing. And stories are the whole point. Georgie! I remember you from before. I don't like that they made him a cop, but he's a fun character. He's sort of, as I recall, he's kind of a sad sack, and I can identify like that. I always get Eeyore on those, like, Winnie the Pooh personality tests. Good evening, y'all. Good evening, Officer Georgie. Hey, Pop, says Freya. Like, wait. Like, that's her dad? Seems like you're in high spirits this evening, Miss Freya. And please, Poison, no need to be that formal with me. Haha, well, we're both on duty here. Hence the formalities. You're as stiff as ever, says Georgie. Anyway, I have a shift tonight, so I'll need the usual. You have all the ingredients today, asks Freya. I hope so. Not everything, but more than yesterday. Except for tea, I'm out of tea. You still remember my favorite, right? Asks Georgie. Coffee with a hint of sweetness. You got that right. Make sure not to use milk. Freya's like, yeah. Thanks to your Tomodachi profile. Oh, it's Tomodachi. That's so cute. Tomodachi means friend in Japanese, so Tomodachi. So Tomodachi is pretty clever, actually. Thanks to your Tomodachi profile, everyone knows you're lactose intolerant, Georgie. I don't know why she has a problem with that. That seems like important information to put out there if you're going to, like, know people. Also, why can't I see that? I want to know that he's lactose intolerant. It's more important for me than anyone else. He's like, anyway, a cup of sweet, healthy coffee, please. If it's sweet, I don't know if it's healthy anymore, but that's fair. Sure, a lot healthier for him than if I put milk in it, because that's gonna be gross. Serve it. Do it. Coffee with honey for the man on duty. Not everyone can manage this combination as well as you, says Georgie. Thank you. Freya's like, by the way, I haven't ordered anything myself. Yeah, I noticed. Provide me with service like you gave the old Pop here, please. What are you having? You still need to ask, huh? You never know. Espresso, of course. The one and only espresso. Yes, yes. But apparently it's just drip coffee? Because it doesn't... I mean, it's obviously espresso when I'm making it, but the can is... Do I not serve drip coffee? Maybe I'm like a coffee snob and I only serve espresso. I don't really know. I like coffee in real life, but I'm not actually a coffee snob in real life. I'll drink pretty much anything that isn't excessively sweet, unless it's sweetened with the sugar syrup with the flavor that I like, and then I still don't want it excessively sweet, but I'll probably drink it even if it is. A starless night for the green-haired fairy. Wow, I feel like I should serve absinthe after saying that. Freya's like, I'm not even sure whether that's a compliment or not. I'm not sure either, Freya. This is perfect. So, says Georgie, how's everything going at the paper, Miss Freya? As usual. Awful. She's making a risky deal with her boss. Yeah, pretty much, says Freya. What kind of deal? A possibly life-altering deal? A very dangerous one at that, chimes in Freya. Okay, says Georgie. I feel like we're making him nervous. Oh, hey, is his profile updated? It is. Oh, and so's hers. Oh, Freya has a self-summary now. Journalist and short story writer. You can read my surreal and weird short stories at the Evening Whispers. Idolize and aspire to be someone like Gil Naiman or Maruki Harukami. Very good. So she's into like magical, well, not magical realism because that's Latin American, but you know, kind of like real life with a touch of the surreal, the magical, the horror. Cool. Somewhat up my alley as well. I also like to write shit like that, but I'm also much more likely to just write straight up fantasy or horror because I'm a geek. Georgie, born and raised in Seattle, a lactose intolerant cop. Why would you put that out there? People should know. Anyway, I'll look for Freya's story after this conversation's done. I'm like, a deal Freya regretted? Freya's like, not that much. Georgie's like, folks, seriously? Care to share the details properly? Yeah, we're totally like making his spidey sense go off. I feel a little bad for the guy. Freya's like, you tell him. She's secretly using her working hours to do something else. Something like writing her own novel. Georgie's like, you got balls, I can tell you that. But now I like to think that's literal. She does. There we go. Okay. Freya's a trans girl. Good to know. Or trans femme, or trans person. We haven't actually... Have we had she pronouns for Freya? I can't remember. Well, you don't have to be binary to use she pronouns. You don't have to be anything to use she pronouns. Anyone can use any pronouns. That's the joy of language. Freya's like, gee, thank you. Georgie's like, how's the leap of faith going so far? It's not slowing down, that's for sure. And I haven't seen any safe haystacks to fall into. Good luck with that. Don't worry, she's not losing her job. At least, not yet. Her life will be pretty hard if she messes this thing up, though. Thank you for the reminder. So yeah, as Poison said, my editor-in-chief doesn't know about it yet, but my novel is going to be published by our parent company anyway, so technically I'm still doing work for the company. Yeah, on spec, honey. She'll be really pissed off if she finds out, though. That's because you're working on it during working hours. Wait, is stealing time a crime? Not one that can be prosecuted by the state, my dear, only internally within a company. Technically, I might have to arrest you. Yeah, ha ha ha, joking about arresting a person who looks like they're gender non-conforming is super hilarious. Oh good, she had the appropriate response. She's like, hey, you do it all the time, too. He's still giggling, he's like, those are just coffee breaks. Sometimes, oh no, you do it all the time too, like doing other shit on the job. He's like, sometimes my coffee breaks might take longer than they're meant to, but still, coffee breaks. She's like, you're making me feel worse by saying that. I thought she was accusing him of arresting people all the time. It's like, that would have been more appropriate. Whatever. At least she didn't think the joke was funny. I'm like, you should feel bad. Why Freya should feel bad? Other than, like, she shouldn't feel guilty. She should feel anxious about getting caught, but not guilty. Anyway, she's like, stop adding salt to the wound, okay? It's just a fact. Georgie's just laughing at us. I'm not sure whether this will make you feel better or not, but if your writing career goes up in flames, excuse me, the police force is always looking for people with balls as big as yours. Just don't mention that you like to do other things during working hours. Freya's like, I want to say thanks, but I feel like I should be offended. And she should. Georgie's like, I'm sure you'll do just fine, Miss Freya. How come he always calls her Miss? She calls him Pops. That seems weird. Do you have any idea what you're going to write? She's like, I have, actually. Oh, good, says Georgie. What'll it be about? A coffee shop and the stories people tell inside. Now he's just like, dot, dot, dot. You're letting her do that? I'm like, there's no stopping her. What's wrong? Freya asks. Please don't write about any shady-looking police officers who love to take breaks more than they should inside the coffee shop near their post. No, do it, Freya. Definitely write about that. She's laughing. She's like, I will definitely write about that police officer. Yes, expose. He'll make a good comedic character. Actually, don't expose him. If he's spending that much time at a coffee shop, he's probably not spending that much time, you know, dangerously abusing marginalized people, so it's like, was that a compliment or are you making fun of me, eh? Wait, I thought this was in Seattle. Why are they Canadian now? Anyway, I can say that because I'm Canadian. I don't say A very often, but I still can make jokes about it. She's like, I would call that a compliment. He's like, is it? I'm like, I don't think so. Hey, what do you have against me tonight? That's a good question, Freya. What do I have against you tonight? George is like, Poison is probably worried about losing customers due to breach of privacy. I was in a bad mood before she mentioned that, though. She's like, come on, it's not like I'll be using real names. And I'll dramatize most things I've heard, of course. Most. And George is like, that's even worse. I kind of actually agree. Freya's like, here's the thing. The stories I've heard, they'll only be the inspiration for what I write. Yeah, but so many writers toe that line and cross it. By the way, as someone stationed here, I assume you've heard a lot of stories from the people around here, right? Nope. She's like, come on! No, seriously, that would almost certainly be a breach of confidentiality. He's like, nope. No, no, no. You helped me once with one of the stories I wrote for the paper. Yeah, that was nonfiction. That was, like, news and shit, not the one about the secretly rich beggar hanging around the block. Yeah, see, that was actually trying to help people. I'm sure you can give me other interesting tips. This is just for your own pleasure. That's bullshit. I helped you more than once, actually, says Georgie. What, really? Now it's my turn to say, come on! Which stories are you talking about? You asked for information about the busker? The one who's always playing his guitar, always got a rose with him? Oh, that one that had the bouquet. Oh yeah, that guy, says Freya. Yes, poor guy, says Georgie. Hearing about your girlfriend passing on during an investigation is... I don't know. It's hard, says Freya. He took it quite well, to be honest. It was hard, says Georgie, but at least you gave him closure. He never complained that you used his story for the paper? I got his blessing before giving it to the editors, says Freya. Oh, so you can do that. Well, says Georgie, at least he's become more popular since the article was published. More income for someone in his line of work. Yeah, says Freya, the rose has become some kind of prop for him now. Anyway, back to the topic. Any hot tips? George is like, okay. Oh, that is so not legal! Have you heard about this one girl? Ooh, tell me, tell me! Oh, I think I see where this is going. Lately, this girl's been coming to a coffee shop in the area more than before. She's pretty weird. I don't know what her deal is. But she has bright green hair. I knew it. Freya's like, oh, come on! I was so excited to hear about something real. Georgie's like, you think you're not real? I'm like, wow, that went deep. Fast. Freya's like, faster than my career going downhill. Hey, what's with the sudden mood? Yeah, I'm the one in a bad mood tonight, come on. Yeah, says Georgie, cheer up, girl. Freya's just like, ugh, yeah, I hate being told to cheer up too, that's fair. Sorry, I'm having mood swings because of the pressure. You'll do just fine, says Georgie. I mean, you're great with your short stories. By the way, why this coffee shop? Freya's like, because I spend a lot of my time here, I guess? And then there's this couple that visited the coffee shop yesterday. ... Georgie's like, what about them? She's like, they're going through a pretty hard time together. You know, different species, I'm just gonna change race to species because pet peeve. Different species, different cultures, families don't approve. If you, I don't think I explained about the pet peeve thing in this video because that would have been the last one that cut off after an hour because I forget the PS4 does that automatically. So yeah, if you want to know my shtick about race versus species, inaccuracy, word nerd bullshit, you can, it's in the last video, I think. If I'm wrong, then I'm extra glad I'm not explaining again. When I heard their story, I kind of felt their pain. I mean, to the degree you can without being part of either of their marginalized groups. What's happening to them happens to a lot of people. It's been told in fictional form countless times before, but it's always an interesting topic to discuss. Is it? I think it gets pretty old, actually, but that's because I kind of had parents who had that shit, because my dad is Christian. Well, no, my dad's not actually Christian. My dad is pagan, but he was raised by a Christian family. Well, sort of, my dad follows the indigenous religion of his country of origin, and my grandparents went super Christian after he married a Jew and had 3 kids with her, none of whom were brought up either Christian or Jewish, so they got increasingly Christian. So yeah, like, I don't find this an interesting topic to discuss, the whole, like, star-crossed lovers thing. It's like, yeah, in real life that usually just ends in divorce, so I'm such a cynic about, like, shit like that, but what you gonna do? Aromantic vibes. That is what you will get with me, because I am on that spectrum. Georgie's like, are there regulars here? I'm like, nope. The girl visited this place before, if I'm not mistaken. She was with her coworkers or clients, helping her friends sober up, I guess. Yeah, coffee doesn't actually do that, but whatever. There we go. Freya's like, you gave people coffee to sober up? I'm like, of course not. Some folks request coffee, but I recommend against it. Yes. Because, okay, I actually really appreciate this game is telling people that, because that is a really bad idea. Mixing coffee and caffeine, and caffeine, fuck me. Mixing coffee and alcohol, or caffeine and alcohol, not a good idea, because then you can't, like, necessarily realize when the alcohol is really depressing your system, because you're also ramping up your heart rate, and yeah, too many people get alcohol poisoning that way. It's really not a good thing to do. Yeah, don't drink Red Bull and vodka. PSA for a decade or so ago. I usually end up giving them some tea, hot chocolate, or just plain water. Water! That's the go-to. Won't make you sober faster, because nothing can do that, but it will help flush your system a little faster. Especially since alcohol is a diuretic. That's nice of you, she says. I hope they don't get pissed about the wrong order. If they do, we'll just kick them the fuck out. Like, yeah, that happens sometimes. Georgie's like, good for you. Anyway, look at the time. It's time for my shift. Hey, like they said, I'm good with this. I don't have a problem if they get pissed off. Angry, drunk, angry because I didn't give them coffee, just like literally like lock them out of my bar by the face. Honestly, that's one of the worst places to hit, but you know, I'm trying to be nice here. Freya's like, oh yeah, go on and do your job, old man. Don't forget to share anything interesting you hear with me. He's like, let's not make this a habit. At least he's trying to be ethical. She's like, can't promise you that. So rude. Okay then, says Georgie. See you later, everyone. Take care, Officer Georgie, or whatever. Freya's like, later. Oh, cute case on Freya's phone. Is that a fox? I think that's a fox. Unless that's a cat. Either way, it's cute. Freya's like, I think I need to go back to my writing. When did you start on your writing today? No offense, but I need to concentrate like crazy. Hey, you've been talking to me, so I'll move to my usual corner. Good luck with the writing. And don't forget to keep yourself hydrated. Here, take this glass of water. Ooh, you're just the best, Poison, says Freya. You're welcome. Okay, off to the world of imagination I go. Go on. She's finally out of here. No, I don't actually dislike Freya for real. I just like the idea that my character's grumpy tonight. That should do for the experiment. Oh, wait. I have a short story to read first, don't I? Stories! Road Trip by Freya Fatima. And if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10-ton truck kills the both of us, to die by your side, well, the pleasure, the privilege is mine. Morrissey's voice blasted from the old speaker of the car. That's unfortunate. He is a fucking asshole. Everyone in the car was singing along, and by everyone I was talking about me and her. There were only the two of us. Two of us and an almost empty highway. Do you consider dying by my side to be a heavenly way to die? Do you consider dying by my side to be a heavenly way to die? She asked after the song finished, breaking the noisy silence of the car. That depends, I answered. Depends on what? On how we die. I'm sure having a masked psychopath slowly mutilating us while we're holding hands won't be a pleasant experience. Then what kind of demise would you consider a heavenly way to die next to me? That's hard. I'm pretty sure I'd prefer something that's not too painful, though. So, us dying of old age together would be your heavenly way for us to die? Hey, hold on! We just started officially dating yesterday. Don't plan too far ahead. Well, ouch! What was that for? Meanie. I was just joking. Besides, I'd rather think about a heavenly way to live with you right now. And have you found any answers to that? Look at me, and then close your eyes. What do? Just do it. She closed her eyes. I leaned over, getting close to her face. Then, for a moment that felt like 100 years, we kissed. The speedometer was pointing to 100 kilometers per hour, and the highway was almost empty. Almost. I really hope that story ends there, because that would be kind of awesome. I like if it's just like open-ended and it's implied that they might actually get hit by a car. That's my kind of story. I'm a weirdo. Anyway, back to the real game. That should do for the experiment, as I believe I already read. Ah, someone is coming. What did I experiment with? Oh, welcome, Mr. Gala. Oh, hey, it's Gala. He's the one who likes cats, right? Hi, Poison. Can we sit here? Sure thing, sir. And Mr. ... over here is like ... Sorry, question mark. Like, this is the place you recommend, says Pale Dude. Gala's like, you don't like it? Pale Dude's like, ... again. It's fine. Gala's like, I know it's not like the coffee shops you're used to in LA. But Pale Dude's like, Gala, it's fine. I'm like, sorry to interrupt. Do you want to order anything? Gala says yes. What do you want to drink? He asks his friend. His friend's like, you first. Okay. Anything with coffee and ginger, please. I can do that. Coffee, ginger, so and a little honey. Honey and ginger always go nicely together. Never had coffee and ginger. I've had tea and ginger. Always with honey. Otherwise, I'm not the biggest ginger fan, but ginger, lemon, honey, and cinnamon, that looks heavenly. I would try that in coffee. That sounds really good. I don't see how it could go badly. Those things go with most everything. He says, thank you. I'm like, how about you, sir? To the dude who is yet to be named. What would you like to order? Pale Dude's like, is it good? Gala's like, I like it. Not sure if it'll be to your liking or not. Pale Dude's like, okay. I'll have whatever he's having. Alrighty then. Coffee, ginger, honey, go. Notice said already that I actually have hated the Ace Ventura movies since I was a small child. Even when I was a small child, I was always like, why do other kids laugh at these? They're just really annoying and his voice bothers me. I just found his voices really annoying. And then there's like all the trans fucking misogyny in them, so yeah, anyway. Here's your order. I just wish I hadn't said that. Pale Dude's like, good choice. Gala says, anyway, how's the town treating you so far? Pale Dude's like, same old. I was surprised seeing so many changes after just a few years, though. Gala says, yeah, things changed a lot in just 20 years. Pale Guy's like, even this coffee shop, I believe this was a bar back then. When did you open this coffee shop? I'm like, we opened around 6 years ago, Mr. Hyde. My name is Hyde, says Pale Dude. Cool, finally have a name. Excuse me? From what I gathered, you're from LA, right? I can't actually burp, but I get these little, like, hiccupy kind of things after I drink something sometimes, so that's happening because I drank coffee from a thing with a, like, to-go lid and one of the little mouth things, so I always end up swallowing some air, so yes, now I am not burping because my body can't burp. It's weird. At least it's not painful. Sometimes that happens, and that's really not fun. Anyway, Hyde is from LA. Hyde's like, I am. I used to live here decades ago, though. What brings you back to Seattle? Hyde's like, ... I'm here for work. I'll probably be here for a few weeks. Gala informs me he travels a lot. I see. You two have known each other a long time, I assume. You could say that, says Hyde. Gala's like, yeah, I think we met not so long after you got married, right? It was around the 60s, I believe? Wow, that was a long time ago. Not for our kind. Fair enough, Hyde. Wait, if I'm not mistaken, the peace treaty between werewolves and vampires was signed in 1865. So when you guys said you met in the 60s, were you talking about the 1860s? We're just kind of looking at each other. That's a yes. No, we met in the 1960s. We're old by some species standards, says Hyde, but not that old. Although, it's still fair to say we haven't seen each other in a long time, says Gala. Hyde's like, I guess 20 years is a long time. This was the place, wasn't it? Where we first met. Gala's like, yep, when it was a bar. They moved? Asked Hyde. Bankrupt. Such a pity. Uh-huh. I'm like, you're happy the bar closed down? What's with the smile, if you don't mind? Nothing. I was just wondering, will history repeat itself? I'm like, ... I certainly hope not. I've been coming to your place. I hit the mic. Oh no. I've been coming to your place since the first week you opened, says Gala. You got something special here. It won't close down anytime soon. Thank you, Mr. Gala. Speaking of, it's been quite a while since your last visit. Busy at work? Gala's like, kinda. With the news about that newfound virus going viral, the hospital has been extremely overcrowded. Ah, he works at a hospital. Oh yeah, he's wearing an orderly's uniform, isn't he? I only just noticed that. Or a nurse's uniform? I'm not sure. Or maybe they're like surgical scrubs. It's hard to tell when it's a game. Is the virus that dangerous? He's like, no one is sure about that. But most people who come in are just... I don't want to use this word. But they're just paranoid. They're still doing the same job in the same hospital? Asks Hyde. What was it called? Admission officer, says Gala. And yes, I'm still a hospital admission officer there. They should have given you a promotion for your loyalty and long service. He's like, they offered me a managerial position, but I declined. I prefer doing this. Hyde's like, heh. To each their own. Anyway, I was wondering, do they still sell legal blood at your hospital? Gala's like, they do. Although people don't need to visit the hospital directly anymore. They can just order through that blood marketplace app. Hyde's like, are you talking about Bloodlast? Gala's like, uh-huh. Hyde's like, Bloodlast get their supply from the hospital? Gala's like, they can't certify blood on their own. Only hospitals and the Ministry of Health can do that. They're just middlemen with a lot of sales promos. You use it often? Hyde says, not really. I'm trying a new vegan lifestyle, remember? But I do know the founder of that startup. Gala's like, oh yeah, how's your vegan diet going? Hyde says, it's not easy, but nothing I can't conquer. I'm like, excuse me for asking. By going vegan, do you mean you don't drink blood anymore? Not real blood, says Hyde. Synthetic blood. Synthetic blood? It'd be too complicated to explain, but basically, some scientists are working to make some kind of blood that can satisfy my kind without relying on real blood. Considering real blood has some cultural and health concerns. Does it taste the same? More or less, yeah. Isn't it expensive? It is. I can afford it though. But again, they're still working on it. Trying to make it more affordable for everyone. Would synthetic blood taste good if mixed with other ingredients? Why? Obviously I'm thinking of trying to up my vampire clientele. You want to start selling blood-based drinks? I'm like, it might attract new customers. And turn off others. Well, fuck them. They don't have to come by. Fair point. It's not a fair point at all. Honestly, I don't know if mixing it would taste good. Most vampires prefer drinking raw blood. Although some do try experimenting with other things. Other things? Mostly booze, says Gala. I was thinking mostly other bodily fluids, so that's less concerning. But I know some mix it with not-so-legal substances. Hyde's like, heh, you know a lot. Gala's like, I work in a hospital, remember? Hyde's like, hey, talking about my vegan lifestyle reminded me to ask you something. About what? Asks Gala. Your monthly fury. Found a less painful method to restrain yourself? Not yet, says Gala. But I do know that it's a drink. What kind of drink? A certain combination of ginger and caffeine. Is that why you ordered coffee with ginger? Yes, I'm exploring the possibilities. But this drink wasn't the one. I guess there's too much caffeine in coffee for it to be the remedy. Why don't you use the Fury sedative available on the market? I don't trust them. Besides, that sedative is too general. Each of us has our own remedy that we need to find. And sometimes the effectiveness can change as we grow older. How effective will this drink be? Enough to calm me down. That's all I need, to be honest. At least your calming method is only a drink. I've heard some werewolves need to do kinky stuff to soothe themselves during their fury. Bella's like, kinda kinky. Hyde says, like, BDSM? Gala's like, that only happens in porn. Hyde's like, wait, what? Gala's like, it's famous among our kind. You don't have to feel ashamed if you like watching that kind of thing, you know? Hyde's like, hey, a friend told me about it. Gala's like, well, he was pulling your leg. Damn. I mean, having sex as a calming method is pretty common, but normally we stick to the vanilla stuff. Come to think of it, it would be pretty brutal doing bondage stuff during the Fury. Yeah, it doesn't sound like necessarily a good pairing. Exactly, says Gala. So, continuing with your story, how far along are you in finding the ingredients for the remedy? So far, all I know is it involves ginger, and probably something lightly caffeinated. Like tea, maybe. You better write that down. You won't want him wreaking havoc in the coffee shop. Oh, he's talking to me. I'm like, we don't have any tea today, but the next time you're visiting, maybe I can try brewing the remedy for you. That would mean a lot, says Gala. Oh, there goes his phone. Excuse me for a moment. Reading his phone? I'm sorry, I have to go now. I mean, that was kind of obvious. There's an emergency at the hospital. I think I'll go back now as well. We can share a cab. Alright. Thank you for the drink. Hyde's like, I'll probably visit this coffee shop again before I go back. So, I'll see you around. Thanks for coming. Take care on your way home. Goodbye, everybody. Tomodachi! But no, not you. I already looked at you. Gala! Birthday, September 13th. That's all it's got. Hyde! He's a supermodel. Birthday, February 8th. Vegan vampire. Professional model. CP Alyssa. That must be like his agent or whatever. Cute outfit. Now Freya's like, hey. I get distinct Catra vibes off her, so I kind of want to go, hey. Like, hey, Adora. Are you done with your writing for tonight? Kinda. Those two guys. Kinda reminds me of this video I saw online. I would prefer if you didn't start fantasizing. It's a video of a wolf pup playing with a baby tiger. It's nice to see friendships that grow in unlikely circumstances. Oh, that video. Freya's like, what? What video did you think I was talking about? I'm like, you know. Oh, never mind. Freya's just like, ... You... I'm just like, ... I was just joking? Please don't do jokes. You're really bad at it. That's because I wasn't joking. Headcanon. Anyway, it was a pretty interesting and productive night. But now I need to get some sleep. I'm like, yes, please don't forget to get some rest. I'll see you again tomorrow, I assume? She's like, oh, don't you worry. I will be here tomorrow. Night-night. I'm like, be careful on your way back. Bye, Freya. Shin Genmai Cha. Variation of the Japanese brew, mixing the brown rice with ginger. Ooh, nice. I love Genmai Cha. Okay, I'm gonna break there, assuming this is actually still recording and I didn't just miss that notification, and pick it up in a sec.